trust that you need to invest in yourself. You need to invest in this business if you want the full freedom. I have three
Yeah.
vacations this year, and I'm just like, my sister's like, all right, I put in, for my 2 weeks, she's a nurse. And she's like, I
Mhm.
told my boss I was taking 2 weeks off because we're going on a Viking cruise in the fall
Oh,
with our
fun.
friends. My sister's like, okay, I put in for the 2 weeks off. My boss said it was fine. I said, yeah, I checked with my boss too. And she said it's fine. And she just laughed at me. I said, my boss is all in,
Oh, hello, hello. How you
Hello.
doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. How's your Friday going?
It's good. It's funny. I was telling one of my clients, and I work with her in two different ways because she has a company that manages HOAs. But I was talking to her this morning, and she's like, "Happy Friday." I said, aren't the same to me. I don't like wish my weeks away anymore because I said Friday is the same as a Saturday or Sunday. I choose when I want to work. Sometimes I
I love
don't do
that.
I don't I might have a week where I barely do any bookkeeping, or I'll sit down at night to do like a little bit here or there, or I sit down on a Saturday morning to do some. I'm like, my days are all the same now because it's up to me what
I
I want to
love
do.
that. Isn't that a beautiful thing, though?
It is so freeing. It really is. I mean, to have my daughter say, "Hey, the boy, I'm going outside with the boys to play if you want to come over." And I'm like, "Sure."
Hmm.
And I just signed up for my pool membership, and I'm like, I don't have to wait till weekends to go to the pool. I could go like from 12 to 2 if I feel like it.
Uh-huh.
I'm very thankful for my life. I'm very thankful for everything that gets put in front of me, and that makes a difference too. When Robin talks
Mhm.
about mindset, it really does.
Mhm.
If you're in
It
that
does.
whole mindset of, the universe is giving me so much, it just keeps giving me more, and
Mhm. Hmm.
I take
It's
it.
just like the food you eat nourishes your body, the thoughts that you think, the words that come out of your mouth. If you're talking negative, if you're
Yep,
speaking negative things, if you're perpetuating a negative mindset, that's what's going to happen. But when we see people like this who just you try to live in that positivity, live in that growth mindset, it's just an
yeah,
abundance comes to you because of your
it
work,
does.
but also you're just reinforcing it and the attitude every day.
I love everything from you guys. I came to the academy because I had watched Bill, like the bookkeeping guy. I had watched his 5-day thing.
Mhm.
I paid for it. It was 30 some bucks. And I thought, okay, I'm not paying his couple $1,000s. I'm going to figure this out on my own. And in talking to one or two other people that were doing that at the same time, we were talking about different things. And somebody said, I might do this program. And she mentioned the academy. And I
Mhm.
said, well, okay, maybe I'll just do the bookkeeping part of that to start,
Mhm.
just the course. These other people that were going to do it dropped it. They're like, oh no, if things changed, I don't have money. And I'm like, I wish you were watching my post right now to see how my life has changed in that
Mhm.
year. I'm like, it kind of took all the guesswork out. I would have been like spinning my wheels trying to figure out,
Mhm.
okay, now what do I have to do to start my business? And what do I
Mhm.
need here? And how do I,
And
that
that's where people
CPA.
get stuck. Even when they come through the academy, they get stuck because they see all that stuff and then they don't reach out and ask for help and say, "We'll help you. We'll guide you where to go."
I started my business right away. And then
Mhm.
I started the marketing right away, which of course wasn't the best timing because it was like March. And
Mhm.
I'm trying to send out emails to CPAs, but I got one or two things, people interested, and the rest I just kept following up with later. But it,
Yeah, and
it made
that's the
all the
key.
difference. Everything you need is right there. The life that you
Mhm.
get in return, if you were to buy a franchise, you'd be spending $100,000, $200,000.
Mhm.
Why do you think you can start a business and not have to
Mhm.
put anything out? That's just
Yeah.
it. People don't see that. They think, oh my God, I don't have money. That's why I need this.
Mhm.
And I get it. It will pay for itself. It,
Mhm.
it literally does. Trust that you need to invest in yourself. You need to invest in this business if you want the full freedom. I have three
Yeah.
vacations this year, and I'm just like, my sister's like, all right, I put in, for my 2 weeks, she's a nurse. And she's like, I
Mhm.
told my boss I was taking 2 weeks off because we're going on a Viking cruise in the fall
Oh,
with our parents.
fun. Uh-huh.
My parents are paying for everything, but I'm like, my sister's like, okay, I put in for the 2 weeks off. My boss said it was fine. I said, yeah, I checked with my boss too. And she said, it's fine. And she just laughed at me. I said, my boss is all in. Yeah.
I
And
love that.
yeah, it's
I
great.
love that. That is such a freeing thought.
Thanks. I mean, you guys are the reason why,
Oh, thank
I
you.
mean, all of that stuff in the beginning, when you're thinking, oh, that's, your mindset just isn't there. You're like, oh,
Oh
well,
yeah.
yeah, that's good. Just like Alicia says in her little blurb every time I see it, she's
Mm.
like, you know, oh, that's cute. You did that. That's not going to happen for me. Why would
Yep.
anybody pick me to do a $10,000 cleanup?
Mhm.
Why would anybody choose me for their person? And it is true. But then the same token, you're
Mhm.
like, well, why not me?
Mhm.
And then you see it start to happen and you're like, okay, okay.
Yep.
I can have, I would have never put myself here. My sister says it all the time. She's like, you are crushing it. She's like, you are living your life the way you want. And I'm like, yeah, but it only took me 59 years to figure that out.
But
I
it's
wish
never
it
too
didn't.
late. It's never too late. That's the beautiful
Listen.
thing. That's what I tell people. The time is going to pass either way, you know?
Yeah,
So I'm just telling my mom that, and she's about to turn 66, and she's like, I've been doing the same thing my whole life, and she's kind of thought about the bookkeeping thing, and I was like, well, I mean, you're gonna be 67 next year either way, so do you want to try
right.
something new and have a business or not? And she's like, oh, I didn't think
Yeah,
like that.
I know. I know. Maybe in
So,
my next life I'll realize this sooner. But
I hear you.